Ready when you are.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for all coming.
Standing room crowd tonight.
Is this the part where we take advantage and one of us randomly takes turns, we go sit in the audience, and disguise our voices and talk about how great the voice is when they go.
That's a good idea. Signature folder, we had the minutes and I see it's down below, so make a motion to accept the minutes for, where am I?
February 20th. Oh, that's
February 4th, 2025.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Get that out of the way. Manifest. Make a motion to approve the manifest dated February 13, 2025 in the amount of $575,840.43. Majority of that was school payment of $484,105.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the manifest dated February 20, 2025 in the amount of $30,157.80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Review mail. We had the town forest timber tax from the state, Pine River Forest. So you don't have a total detail of the total cost, but it looks like it's a little less than $3,000 in timber tax that we'll be receiving. Hey, Chuck, you wanna talk on this one?
Sure. We received, the town audit report and then a subsequent, I'm gonna call it a summary letter, there isn't a title to it. But it basically starts out significant audit matters, and essentially there were none in the 2 pages that were there, so the audit was in pretty good shape.
For 2023. Alright. Board selectmen reports. Which one, let's go first?
I'll do it. Library, we had theft of the sand and somebody smashed the barrel. So they emptied the barrel and smashed it. There is a light on that wall and a camera, but there's no electricity, so it's not working. So I'm wondering if we get the electrician over there just to see if we can get electric to that. If we can
Where's
get
the camera?
It's actually in the light system that's above the double doors.
Oh, so the light's not working?
Yeah, there was a donated system, so Mike Conti donated that one, the one that's on the side facing Townhouse Road, plus the two cameras up on the second floor.
So there must be a wire running to those lights.
There is, he hooked everything up, and I dropped the ball in not remembering that we needed to have the electrician take a look at it.
That's no problem, let's
Yeah.
get it done.
Okay,
Jeremy,
okay, I'll give him,
question?
If you're gonna run wire, would it make sense to put a system similar to what we're gonna do with all the other buildings at the library at that point? Put a
At
hard
this-
camera?
at this point, I'm just gonna try and get him to patch into one of the others that's there until we redo that whole one, cause once we do the project, we're gonna redo all that wiring, all new cameras, all new everything. So I don't want him to run a whole new wire all the way from the box all the way out, I want him to patch into something just to get that thing back up and running.
Yeah, we'd be running Cat 5 with like the other systems, but yeah. I know the fire station, I had some blink cameras in the parking lots there and they capture like 20 seconds of movement and then they just stop. So like when we had the catalytic converter stolen a couple of years ago, we caught like the very tail end of a truck leaving, but nothing in the middle, so I know those wireless cameras or stuff like that can be problematic. I don't know what particular brand you have.
It's the Wise camera.
Yeah, that's what
Oh, I mean, when we installed them, we were having a lot of drug traffic at nights out behind the building. And within 2 weeks, there's no more activity out there whatsoever.
Yeah, just the
So,
sight of it probably
Right.
helped.
yeah, it was nice big signs that says you're on video camera.
Yeah,
And literally it took like a week and a half and it was gone.
But the new cameras that are at the fire station are top notch and.
yes, absolutely.
Friday, this week, I'm headed up to Concord to meet with LCHIP. Grace, Jason, Earl and I are going up and we're gonna see if we can make the case to modify the agreement as well as extend the grant that we currently have, in our hands. And next week on Wednesday night is the normal monthly Historic Town Hall monthly meeting. We did push it from last week because of the budget committee meeting, so it'll be this coming week, so.
Next week,
Next
the coming week, yeah.
coming week, next week, 26th.
Yeah.
6 PM, library, so, and that's all.
Not much to report, the storms have been consuming a lot of my time, obviously at my job. To our contractors, winter road contractors' credit, my phone hasn't rang. I told them that today, which is a good sign. I've had a couple conversations with the road agent who's in contact with the contractor. I know we do have some drifting going on. My road in particular is currently closed. Elliot's on his way there right now. He just received a text message. Obviously, he's been in the machine all day. Pushing back all the intersections. He knows and has identified all of the roads that need to be addressed. Taking advantage of this window. There were some trees down this morning. They got addressed by the road agent and our police department and the fire department, I believe, got dispatched to 101-53. Dispatch did have to be reminded once again that Evans Brothers does not take care of 153, it's a state road. But yeah, the weather and coming in for different meetings here, which everybody's aware, we're on camera or it's been publicized. We've had quite a few work sessions and things like that. That's all I have.
So with Evan's issue, Kevin pretty much as a road agent, takes care of the trees, right?
Yeah, but if it's like a tree comes down or something like that, if it's a big tree, and Kevin has to call in for machinery or something like that, that still is Evans Brothers, and
Gotcha.
anything large or whatever requires the contractor to come out, that falls under Evans Brothers, and it's billable time for them.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait,
No.
if I may.
Yeah, please.
I did send an email to dispatch reminding them that Kevin is in place and that they should be contacting or attempting to contact him prior to contracting the contractors
Yeah,
directly.
he should be the primary contact.
Yeah, so
And
they should
he
be
feels,
contacting him first. If they can't get him for whatever reason, they then would move on, but they're gonna try Kevin first. So
Okay.
I sent that an email this morning.
Yeah, and I did have that conversation with Tyler, and he said that one of you guys were gonna take care of that, so thank you.
Absolutely.
right, I don't have much report, that I cannot report, but, did talk to, Brad this morning, was there, moving snow, cleaning the station up, and, said the gate was open again this weekend, up the upper gate.
It was,
So, we need to contact Elliot, or,
I don't know who's opening it, so.
cause there was a lock on it, so, must have the key. I know they probably had to plow through this weekend, but they need to shut the gate after, cause it was closed Sunday, we closed it down Sunday, so he must have opened it up Sunday.
So when was it? You just said it was open this weekend, so,
I would say Sunday with the plowing.
cause the
The
transfer,
lower gate is usually open when Elliot's out running, the upper gate's not, but there was a day and a half, and I don't remember which day and a half, it was the latter part of the week, where the upper gate was wide open, the lower gate was closed.
Yeah,
So
and he said Sunday the gate was open. So,
who said Sunday the gate was open?
Brad,
The transfer station was closed Sunday.
I know, but he went and drove around, he said it was open. So, you wanna have
Yeah, I'll
conversation?
talk to him again, so.
Just, if he's plowing, okay, make a pass through and shut the gate. Especially, I don't care about the lower gate, but shut the gate.
You don't care about the lower gate?
Well, if he's,
Open or closed?
If it's open, because if he's, going in and out with his, getting sand and all that, it's no sense.
Yeah, during a storm, he's in often enough.
Yeah.
That lower gate's not an issue.
Yeah.
But the upper one,
Yeah, I just don't, I'm trying to wrap my head around why he would open that
It must
upper
be
gate.
probably when he was plowing the snow. That's what Brad said. He opens the gate to plow through. But doesn't shut it. Could be one of his workers, just.
But they closed the lower gate.
No, it's still open,
Oh, I thought you just said the
No.
lower gate was closed.
no,
So they're
they're,
both open?
Yes.
Okay.
so with the storm closed, he said there was some garbage dropped off. So,
In a container or,
yeah, it was full, so.
yeah, it's not on the side of the road, so win, right?
Otherwise, there's not much else to report, or I cannot report.
And obviously, we got on the website that the transfer station was closed.
We published it a couple days ahead of time.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday. I asked you ahead of time so I could have it posted in a timely manner.
Text me.
So. Alright, town minister,
Pretty much still finalizing the 737. I had to discuss with DRA today with a few questions I had after they did our pre-review of the warrants. Just waiting for legal to give me their feedback on all the warrants or if it's all good. That is DRA standard to do. Town report, I have that all pretty much organized, ready to go for when I get the warrants and 737 all squared away and budget committee gives the okay and approves. My next move will be getting it sent out. I want it sent out to Minuteman for printing by Friday. So that way I can get them hopefully next week and beginning of the week after, so.
Great.
And just a reminder, I am getting 200 this year. Last year I got 175, and we seemed to run out of them pretty quickly, so I wanted to get a higher number so we were prepared for this coming year.
I noticed people take extra copies on that, I wonder if we should be allowing one per family, I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I do know that people in the past, they take multiples because they're dropping off to people that, because they hear like, oh, I'm stopping by to register a car or something, you know, I'll grab you a town report. I know in the years past this.
Okay, yeah, just,
Do you know on that subject, the budget committee's meeting tomorrow, correct?
right.
To finalize
Yes.
and sign. Was that a y'all come meeting? They're just going there to finalize the 737?
No, there's some other things we gotta discuss. I don't remember, but there's,
I'm just curious, you know, on, to her point about the warrants and the warrant articles is David kept specifically saying this is draft language and we had a couple of questions on some terminology in one of the warrants.
yeah, but DNR,
Sorry to interrupt on that.
No,
Could this be, I watched a public hearing last week from home. I know there was some comments about the language, I believe, for the fire chief. Is that what you're thinking of with I know someone had asked like the salary and benefits. I don't know if that.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Um,
Cause it states, yes, absolutely.
so I have that out to, like I said, to Matt for review. Do you want me to bring up that question while he reviews it, or what would you?
what did Michelle say? She reviewed it, right?
So Michelle Clark, with DRA, pretty much what they do on the warrant articles is they'll look at the language, but they're really looking at the monetary figures. So they wanna make sure it's going into the right account, you're according the revenues for, you know, if it's being used by unassigned fund balance, she wants to make sure that matches. A lot of the wording, they do defer to legal counsel. So most of the time, when it gets to a point, like for fire chief, one of the only comments was to move it to legal counsel for review.
And I do know that it's boilerplate, if it's boilerplate language, and that's what it is, Michelle Clark looks over that. The fact that everybody was hung up on the fact that it says and benefits, even though he's not asking for benefits, it still has to be there, because it's not about the person, it's about the position.
The wording.
And that's why I don't think the wording needs to be changed, because that warrant article is about a position, it's not about a person. That individual person doesn't need the benefits,
Yeah, you choose whatever you want.
but that
Yep.
warrant article is for,
Has to be worded.
and the dollar figure is what changes. The wording doesn't change, but the dollar figure changes. That was I didn't get into it that night, but that was, my interpretation, and I believe you'll find, that's why Michelle Clark didn't make a recommendation on that, it's because,
No, all she had stated was defer it to legal counsel, and then she did request account code change, and that was it.
So you gotta call into Matt to have it,
It's an email, he said he was reviewing it today, so I should have everything by tomorrow morning, cause I did ask for him.
okay, so we'll have for a budget meeting tomorrow night.
That is my goal, cause I wanna have everything squared away, I want this sent out to Minuteman as soon as possible, so.
Okay,
Christie, your earlier question, I think they delayed the last 3 or 4 things that were on that agenda last week and deferred them till tomorrow night. So I think there's a little bit more than just signing that one document.
well, yeah, there is a couple things.
The agenda itself, just to give you that, it's the 7:37, budget to actual review, end of year business, any other business that comes before the committee. That is what is on the agenda for budget tomorrow,
and that was for 6 o'clock.
correct?
You good?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one more comment concerning the, our road contractor for snow removal, I think he's doing an awesome job, roads looks great. Pretty, he's on top of it, so I just wanted to make that comment.
I just, because you brought that up, I wanna add, because of social media and people make comments, they don't necessarily make comments on Effingham sites, I haven't seen that, but I get secondhand, cause people think it's necessary if I seem too calm to get me fired up, so they tell me about things that they've read on social media, even though I don't.
To get you fired up,
Yeah, so to my point, when I was discussing about, the bond and doing road maintenance and how addressing these roads that are all out of shape will actually save in the winter roads maintenance budget because of material and stuff like that, Pine River Road. Pine River Road, it doesn't matter, you would have to have a plow that's literally, and Lauren's can attest to this, you'd have to have multiple blades that float independently, 2 feet wide, to get all the slush and the snow off of that, because it's so out of shape. The cracks, the different depressions, with the salt brine, that you would put salt down, that's why they put it down in the crown of the road, and you wait for that chemical reaction to happen where that starts to liquefy, turns into a brine, and it runs off the crown and helps melt the ice and the snow out. Without that being able to travel, you've gotta rely on traffic to do that, and the traffic, we're all sheep, you follow in the same pattern, or you just avoid that road altogether because it's so rough, even in the summertime. But you look at Townhouse Road, you look at Elm Street, compare Elm Street, Effingham's Elm Street to Ospey's Elm Street before the salt starts to work. It's scraping down to the bare tar. Because in Green Mountain Road, because they're still in good shape, so they clean up nice and the salt works a lot faster. Sorry about that. So Pine River Road, to anybody that's listening, the reason why that's such a mess during the storm and for the next day or so is because it's so out of shape. Am I wrong?
great.
So I just wanted to put that out there, that you drive any of the other roads and,
I drove Wednesday on it and I felt like I made a mistake in driving on it,
I go around.
I know, I will from now on.
I go around 153, when I leave here, a lot of times I go to Green Mountain Road and I take Green Mountain Road.
Yeah.
And then you only have Champion Hill Road, that short stretch of Champion Hill that's rough, and the rest of it's
Yeah, but it's not
pretty good shape.
Pine River.
No, or 153 is, especially with the plow in the front of my truck.
Okay, business, wanna
You
get,
want me to get back up?
in the meantime, we can have, fire chief. Chief?
Alright, I had overhead door options come out and take a look at our garage doors. It's been a number of years since those doors have had any TLC done to them. As you all have seen, there's absolutely no weather stripping left on the sides of it, anything like that. For efficiency purposes and stuff like that, obviously it makes sense to get those buttoned up. This is the estimate they provided to come in and reseal and do a general PM on the doors at both stations, so it's a total of 5 doors. It's $2,304 to get all of that done. That includes weather sealing it and lubricating and all that good stuff. some of the cords and stuff need to be replaced, they've rusted out at this point, things like that. The tracks all need to be adjusted, all that good stuff. Excuse me, the door openers at Station 2, all 3 of them are, I'm guessing, original to that building. They are recommending replacement, they're not at failure point yet. Each new opener would be an additional 1,550 installed. My recommendation would be that we allow them to do the PM and replace 1 opener this year, and then systematically replace 1 opener each year for the next 3 years to get all of them new. The openers at Station 2, the small station, were replaced a few years ago, so those are in like new condition, so. Station 1.
Station 1, yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry. So, those are in like new condition, but the openers at Station 2 were pretty rough. One of them, we have trouble getting to open sometimes, so that would be the one that I'd recommend we try to replace this year. And then subsequent years, we can replace them, so we're not hitting the budget all the time.
So would that be,
Couple of buildings,
buildings?
ETF would be my recommendation. Not in that budget,
Or take it out of the building maintenance operating budget. And if you exceed it, then tip into the ETF.
Oh, so we have that in our,
That's what I was looking, what's number is that?
which one is that, Caitlin?
What one,
Government
sorry,
buildings,
4191.
That's what we've done in the past, and then if for some reason we exceeded that line item, then we went into the ETF. So we didn't overrun the line item.
2194?
4194, yeah. It might be like a split thing, but you'll see.
so. This company was my recommendation to the chief, they do,
That's total.
you know,
Maintenance, supply, and equipment, no? That was a bigger budget than that.
is it only 10 grand?
It's 30.
30?
Hmm.
So you're
Guys
looking
having
at
the same
the
problem?
maintenance supplies and equipment. That's 30K in there.
Yeah, I would hit that line. Use that.
You get that, GT?
So that's a yes, I guess.
Okay.
Do 1 door.
Yeah.
The worst one, plus this with a total of how much?
3,300 and change.
You okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, I would challenge you to get a better price. They do the town of Ospey's, all our stuff. And I used to work for a garage door guy, and 20 years ago it was that price, so that's a good price.
3854 is the bottom line.
$38?
Yeah, cause you got 1,550 for 1 door. And you got 2304, which is the line item to do the work.
So you're talking about the openers?
Yeah, doing one of these, Chris, which is, right now, it's showing up as a 0, it's not included,
Okay,
cause it's per door.
I'm like, where did you get 15? I thought you said $1,000
1550.
1550.
for the opener.
For the new opener, 1550, yeah.
I thought he said $1,000. That's why I was like, huh? That's why I said 33. I said, what's the bottom line?
No, that's why, as soon as you said that, I knew it was a little higher than that, that's why I just added up.
But it's more expensive because of the bigger doors, taller doors.
Yeah, and it's a commercial grade opener as well. It's not just a residential.
I think you guys can probably design it.
We did.
You did, you got a copy.
Oh, just look at this one.
You good?
I am. But, well, we may actually save a good portion of that just in the heat going out the door.
Oh, you wanna talk about heat going out the door?
We know the modular.
Well, it's just the back door doesn't hit the gasket. whoever installed that new door, when they put the new door in out the back behind my desk, when you lock it, it pushes it away from the gasket so you can see daylight.
So the striker needs to be adjusted.
I guess the striker needs to be adjusted, or maybe the gasket could be padded out, you know, but
Let's start with the striker.
I think it's resetting the hold. Add chisels to the note to bring in my screw gun.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Alright, proceed, JT.
Thank you.
Okay, that it?
That's it for me.
You're up. Rebecca.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know officially that I have been scheduled for knee replacement surgery and give you an idea of how Caitlin and I have worked out how we'll manage
Time
coverage.
period?
March 18th, it's a Tuesday, so I'll miss that week's office hours. And the following week,
March
18th, the following Tuesday, we'll just have to play it by ear to see whether I'm up to, taking phone calls and stuff like that. I'm hoping that I will be. But we might calculate for 2 Tuesdays with sort of no office hours. And then after that, depending on how mobile I am, even if I can't drive, I'll have my husband bring me over. It'll be shortened hours, but I'll come over and
just do
use-
the paperwork and stuff and
Yeah, and if there's stuff that comes in that's important, Caitlin says she'll scan and email stuff to me. We did a lot of that during COVID and managed to keep up with stuff, so I'll ask JT to help me set up the laptop, so for the 3 weeks that I'm not coming in, I can have that at home and make sure that I'm accessing everything that I need to. And I think that's about it, other than your indulgence for doing my report a little bit later in April. And coming to your April 15th meeting, which would be, I think, 5 weeks. 4 weeks out, so I should be okay by then. I've been hearing all sorts of horror stories from people, but I've also been hearing really positive stories, and I've been doing an hour of exercises and a half hour of stationary bike every day for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Well, it doesn't sound like you need the knee replacement.
I know, yeah.
If you can do that, I can't do that.
It's just when I get up after I've been sitting for half an hour, I nearly fall over. Yeah,
I had both replacements.
you've had both replaced. Where'd you have yours done?
Frisbee.
Really? Oh, okay. I'm going up to Alpine,
Alpine title? I wouldn't recommend that.
No, it's a clinic up by Cannon. It does all the Olympic team. And I had several friends in Tamworth who would use the Dougal MacArthur, a hardy Scotsman up there who's doing it.
They should do pretty good. I mean, I didn't do therapy or anything.
You were pretty much up and running.
No, I hiked Mount Washington 3 months later.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in if you're in decent shape to start with, everyone says. I mean, I'm older than some people that do it, so I have to be.
I know 2 people who have had it, and they've done the prep work like you just talked about, and they had no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on at the moment, but I get up in the morning and say after I've, read my newsletters and all that sort of stuff, I'm just gonna spend the day concentrating on my job and my house and my exercises. So,
Yeah, you can't sit around. You gotta keep moving.
absolutely.
In the event the permits come in or anything needs to be done in the field,
Yeah, I sort of wish I'd done it while we still had Dave, so I could have had someone doing field visits, but we'll work that out.
so what is the legality as far as one of us doing that?
I think you could do that, snap pictures. I mean, there are times, for instance, I just issued a permit without doing a site visit. It's for the solar array at 55 Elm. It's roof and ground, but I know the place so well. I know the location of where they're putting it. I know how many hundreds of feet there are. So I thought, that doesn't really need a site visit. So we can pick and choose what's important for a site visit and ask someone
Yeah, it
to
would be
go out.
well.
So we can take it on a case by case
We can take it
basis.
on case by case and hope that things are slow.
And a lot of times if she's gonna be doing a site visit, chances are I'm gonna be doing an inspection shortly after, so,
There you
I'd be
go.
happy to,
I mean, it may be that after the first couple of weeks, that the biggest hardship is that I won't be comfortable driving. And so it'll be a case of my husband dropping me out here for the amount of time that I'm here and then juggling whatever needs to happen here and getting up and down the stairs to the back, but stairs are good. that'll be fine.
Okay.
So,
You know, they'll make you walk your stairs before you leave anyhow.
yeah, and you know, my bedroom's on the second floor, so I mean, I can sleep downstairs on a pull-out temporarily, but, no, I'm bound and determined. They'd originally scheduled it for June, which was, oh my God, how do we wanna?
You don't wanna do it in summer.
And then they were able to move it back. The
Yeah.
surgeon got an extra day at the hospital, it's Littleton Hospital they do it at, so.
Okay.
So I'm feeling psyched for it, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what we were planning and how we were gonna handle it, and
Appreciate the information.
Yeah, so do I'm not gonna lie, I'm concerned with this envelope you have in your hand though.
this is a property on Green Mountain Road where, who took the photographs, who took the nighttime photograph?
That's Chief,
The chief?
JT.
JT, oh, you took the nighttime?
No, excuse me, Tyler, go ahead.
Okay, so I've sent a notice to that person, but that person, the only address they have is that location, which is actually not a legal residence. So I'm sending a first class letter, but I would like,
Okay,
That needs to be hand delivered.
have a copy be
yeah,
hand
give it
delivered.
to Caitlin, and Caitlin will
Yeah,
do it.
this is the
Tyler.
hand delivered one, just so that we're covered, cause I have no idea, I don't think there's even a mailbox there. And I was having this conversation with the town clerk, is we should be being more careful when someone does a change of address to a locale in town that doesn't have a residence. I mean, can you give someone,
Well, can you give an address if you
I
want
mean-
that?
I don't know.
I don't know
Well,
the
I mean,
legality of it, but.
Can you give an address if there's no home? I mean, you have to have an address before you start building, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can build without it, but they're not gonna be able to get services,
Right,
electric
but
or
the
internet,
flip
anything
side
like that.
is, can you get an address? I mean, David was adamant about this, I know we all have different opinions about David, but David was adamant that someone shouldn't have a mailbox and a mailing address at a property until there was a residence there.
Oh, okay.
Now, I disagreed with him on that, I said they need an address in order to get their lumber deliveries and whatever. But we had this ongoing problem with one of the properties on Green Mountain Road with the RV and the mailbox and the address, which wasn't a legal residence. And now we've got the situation where someone, 2 years ago, their legal residence was in another part of the state. And now the mailing address on their property card is the same place on Green Mountain Road where there isn't a residence. And there is an RV and cabins and stuff like that, none of which are legal residences. So it's an interesting proposition as to whether you try and cut that off at the pass.
So you're damned if you do, and damned if you don't.
Yeah, cause I mean, that's, JT will verify this, my brother wants to start developing on his property on Moody Road,
Yeah.
so he's like, I need an address.
Yeah, and I don't object to that.
Because like he's going to the bank and stuff like that, and the bank's like, where is this?
Absolutely, and so this is an odd circumstance where someone changed the address to there when there's already a bunch of stuff on the property, but none of it is a residence. And now he's in a position of not only illegally using the RV now in the off-season, but actually being unable to get a legal seasonal use permit for the RV because we require a residence somewhere else in order to prove that you're not living in it.
So
It's
it's
a-
two arguments, I mean, yeah, they should have, if their intent to build and all that, they should have an address.
Yeah.
Probably should have an address. In this case, this is a zoning issue where somebody's illegally living in a camper, not per town ordinance.
Yeah, and they've got a perfectly legal address.
So it's nothing to do with the person living in the trailer,
No, it has,
the
no.
camper, I should say.
No, my question is the interesting situation of someone changing the address basically for their tax bill to go to a place where there's nobody there.
I understand,
Yeah, and this is
I mean, most people get around that kind of difficulty by getting a PO box.
so, any status on Morris Avenue?
Was put in your court to,
Yeah, we gotta reach out to them.
Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be a letter we were initially gonna have,
Signed by the selectmen?
it was gonna be signed, I was gonna give it to Heidi, but she was not here during Thursday, so.
Okay, so we'll have it next week or,
Oh yeah, you'll have it next week, yeah.
okay. sign it with the manifest.
Oh, of course.
I think we talked about that, we all talked about that, the repercussions, what comes out of that, remember? So, the letter.
Yes,
the
please.
Permit,
Yes,
oh, you want me to,
yeah, we'll jump on it. Go ahead.
the permit,
What permit?
the
Yeah.
permit you got today,
The permit
We discussed earlier.
application I got today.
correct? Yes, I'm sorry, but
The permit application
the
I got.
permit application you got earlier today.
Yeah.
Could we get a copy of that we can forward to Attorney Bolt for his review and opinion? Please,
What's your questions?
with your questions,
Ah,
given the history,
yes, okay, alright. You don't need to write this instant,
no,
cause I wanna go in and I wanna make sure that I've got all the questions.
yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, before you issue,
I'm not issuing anything at the
Right.
moment, obviously.
So we want another set of
because
eyes to look onto it.
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
after you left earlier, that was looking at the invoices we had and stuff like that, it's,
okay, so you want him to review
The
the
application.
application
And your
and your
question.
questions
and my questions,
and
okay,
concerns, if you will.
right. And can I ask why?
Because of this subject, it's for the last couple of years, we just wanna make sure we're crossing our Ts and dotting our Is.
Okay,
That's it. We just wanna make sure we're good.
To be quite frank, because Attorney Johnson reached out to our legal instead of coming right to you.
Yeah.
So it's no different, like, let's just use my brother for an example, cause I just made the statement that he plans on developing on his land.
okay,
So instead of my brother Scott reaching out to you for a building permit, he has his attorney reach out to, you know what I mean? So it kind of,
I can email that to you, who should I?
Caitlin, make sure.
To Caitlin, so it will be, here is the application I received, and here are the questions, comments that I made to the applicant with my concerns.
Correct, perfect.
Okay, okay,
Thank you.
I'm not trumping up anything extra.
no,
And just-
no, no,
And just sit tight on it until we get a response.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I was continuing to review and finding more things that were missing, so,
Okay, just make sure, yeah, put everything down that you feel needs to be done.
okay. Alright, okay. That it?
that's all I have.
I'm gonna go out this way and put these in the mailbox.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Announcements,
None.
okay? Oh, great. Public comments. We good?
Go,
Oh, we do have a
Okay.
budget meeting tomorrow night, that's what you're gonna say.
No, I actually had.
6:00.
I actually had a question for a public member. Lawrence, I had sent out an email to boards and committees. We're going to be utilizing, obviously, Access GIS. They're gonna be a new mapping software that they're currently building. And they're starting to build the staff-only site for, any subdivisions, anything like that. So I reached out to see if any of the board chairs, board members would like to be present to talk with Access, to see what you guys as a board, as a committee would want to see. So I'm trying to plan for the 25th, which is next Tuesday. So I didn't know if you wanted to be in attendance, and if so, if there's a time that would work for you, or you wanted someone to come. But I just wanted to bring that to the attention.
Who'd you send the email to, everybody?
I sent it,
Planning board.
I sent it to the planning board admin, I believe I sent it to, ZBA, so Nate, his email.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I was gonna say, 'cause I haven't seen anything.
that's why I wanted to bring it up while you were sitting here in the audience, I hadn't heard from the zoning board, so I just wanted to bring that up to you, so if you wanted to attend, or if someone from zoning board would like to be in attendance, I would really like board's input for this.
So it's the 25th here,
25th here,
at what time?
I haven't set a time yet, I've been trying to see what works for everybody. I wanna probably try to plan for maybe afternoon at this point, so that way it's not during business hours and. it
So we're gonna have a
can be
time by the end of the week,
I am planning to have one, yeah.
so can we,
Is there a better time for you in the afternoon than,
how many board members you're looking at, 3?
So right now, I believe there's gonna be 2 members from the planning board.
Okay, well, how many boards
Oh.
you contact, how many boards?
I'm reaching out to those who deal with the mapping process mostly themselves.
So zoning, not zoning,
If Board of Selectmen would like to attend zoning, I reached out to Historic District and Heritage Commission,
Okay.
zoning board, so the ones who might utilize the staff site. JT as fire chief, Rebecca as zoning officer, so.
so you should have all response by then. If not, we'll just schedule it.
Yeah, that's my goal, I wanna get all boards input, so that way what they want will be on this.
So you're gonna put it on the
website?
website?
Once I have a time set, yeah,
And are you gonna do a mass email to each board member, chair of the boards?
I can do that, yeah. I think I have your personal one, though, does that work?
That way you'll be notified.
Okay, perfect.
Well, if you send it to Nate, Nate usually notifies me anyway, but I haven't heard anything from Nate yet.
Okay. Perfect.
But you sent that out last week, didn't you?
I sent it, give me one
He didn't
sec.
notify you.
He didn't notify you, cause she sent it last week.
Sent it last week,
Give me 1 second here.
Well,
maybe he's sleeping, I don't know.
So yeah, February 13th I sent it.
That was 5 days ago. My math is correct.
6.
And on vacation again.
I'm sorry, Chris was correct, it was 5 days ago.
See if you're on top of
I
it.
thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Once I set a time, I'll email
Okay,
your email, so that way you're in the loop of the time.
Is gonna be here, in this room?
It's gonna be in this room, correct?
Okay, cool. We'll have it up on screen.
That would be my goal,
Okay, great.
maybe with JT's assistance, so I don't mess it up.
Good be you too, right?
Yep.
Alright, cool. No public comment? Make a motion to adjourn.
Hold on,
Who? Someone talking?
I thought he was gonna say something.
no, I was gonna look and see, Nate did send me an email.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, no discussion.
Doing what?
About the motion.